He failed the interview, shook hands politely, and walked away knowing he had just lost the only job that could save his daughter's future. But just minutes later, while he stood at the bus stop wondering how to explain another disappointment to his little girl, the most powerful billionaire CEO in the city came running after him, in heels, calling his name. What she said next didn't just change his career. It uncovered a truth that neither of them was prepared for, and a decision that would redefine what success, family, and second chances truly mean. Stay until the end, because sometimes the door that closes in front of you is only waiting for someone brave enough to run after you. Daniel Carter adjusted the sleeves of his worn-out shirt for the third time as he sat in the glass lobby of Orion Global Enterprises. Everything around him screamed wealth: marble floors, silent elevators, employees walking with confidence he once had years ago. Beside him sat his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, quietly coloring on the back of an old bill envelope. He hated bringing her to interviews, but childcare cost money. Money he didn't have anymore. A year earlier, Daniel had everything: a stable engineering job, a modest home, laughter-filling dinner nights. Then came layoffs, then medical bills after Lily's mother passed away unexpectedly, then debt, endless debt. Now it was just him and Lily against the world. Mr. Carter? The receptionist called. Daniel stood, squeezing Lily's hand. Wait right here, okay, princess? She nodded bravely. She always did. Inside the interview room sat Evelyn Harper, the billionaire CEO everyone described as brilliant, ruthless, and impossible to impress. Her sharp eyes scanned his resume. You've been unemployed for 11 months, she said calmly. Yes, and you turned down relocation opportunities? Daniel hesitated. I couldn't move my daughter away from her school. She's been through enough. Evelyn leaned back. But this company requires flexibility. He already knew. Every answer felt wrong. Every pause too long. His confidence slipped away piece by piece. When she asked where he saw himself in 5 years, Daniel almost laughed. Alive, stable, able to pay rent. But he gave a professional answer instead. 20 minutes later, she closed the folder. A thank you for coming, Mr. Carter. Corporate language for no. Daniel smiled politely anyway. Years of dignity wouldn't let him beg. He shook her hand. A thank you for your time. When he stepped outside, Lily looked up hopefully. Did you get it, Daddy? He forced a smile. Not this one. She slipped her tiny hand into his. That's okay. You'll get the next one. Her faith hurt more than rejection ever could. They walked away from the towering building toward the bus stop under a gray sky threatening rain. Daniel stared at passing cars, wondering how long before eviction notices turned into homelessness. Behind him, high above in her office window, Evelyn Harper watched something she couldn't explain. The man who failed her interview wasn't angry, wasn't desperate. He simply knelt to fix his daughter's loose shoelace, smiling like she was the most important meeting of his day, and suddenly the interview replayed differently in her mind. Not weakness, priority, not lack of ambition. Love, her heartbeat quickened. Then she saw something else, the little girl hugging him as if he were her entire world. Evelyn grabbed her coat. For the first time in years, the CEO ran. Daniel had just checked his nearly empty wallet when he heard footsteps pounding behind him. Mr. Carter, wait! He turned, confused. Evelyn Harper stood there slightly out of breath, rain beginning to fall around them. Employees exiting the building stared in shock, the billionaire CEO standing in the street chasing a rejected candidate. I'm sorry, she said, catching her breath. I think I made a mistake. Daniel blinked. About the interview? She looked at Lily first. What's your name, Bo? Lily, she answered shyly. Evelyn smiled softly, something her staff rarely witnessed. Then she turned back to Daniel. You didn't fail because you lacked skill, she said. You failed because you refused to pretend your work mattered more than your child. Daniel didn't know what to say. She continued quietly, everyone who sits in that chair tells me they'll sacrifice anything for success. You were the only one who wouldn't. Rain soaked her red blazer, but she didn't move. My father built this company, Evelyn added, and he sacrificed everything, including our family. When he died, the company was successful, but he died alone. Her voice trembled slightly. I've spent years hiring people exactly like him. She extended her hand again. I don't need another employee willing to abandon life for work exists in the first place. Daniel stared at her, stunned. I want you to join Orion Global, she said. Flexible hours, remote options, full benefits. His voice barely came out. Why? Evelyn glanced at Lily holding tightly onto his hand. Because leadership isn't proven in boardrooms, she said. Get into boardrooms, she said. It's proven in parking lots, when no one is watching. Tears mixed with rain on Daniel's face. For the first time in months, Hope didn't feel cruel. Lily whispered, Daddy, does this mean you got the job? Daniel laughed through emotion. Yeah, sweetheart, I think I did. Evelyn watched them embrace and realized something unexpected. She hadn't just hired an employee. She had corrected a mistake she'd been making her entire life. Success isn't always about being the smartest person in the room. Sometimes it's about being the person who refuses to lose their humanity while chasing survival. The interview Daniel failed became the moment that proved his true worth. Because the right opportunity doesn't look for perfection, it looks for character. And sometimes the opportunity runs after you.